Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. No doubt about it, friends. Baseball 79 is already taking off. Opening day at the Kingdom, and no way to stop the Mariners' sail. In Pittsburgh, no one can slow down Big Dave Parker. In California, there's no way Rod Carew won't help the Angels. In Chicago, no fonder wish for the Cubs than a late summer surge. And in Houston, no hits, no runs, a no-hitter. Highlights of the week and previews of the National League East and American League West. Coming up next on This Week in Baseball. Brought to you by Gillette. When it comes to personal grooming, most people come to Gillette, makers of new improved Gillette Track 2. Micro-smooth edges make it a better shave.
Sold out again.
The new improved Gillette Track 2, please.
Yeah, say, who needs improved when these twin blades will do?
Track 2 has micro-smooth edges. Makes the blade smoother than ever.
Shave better than these?
Better, safer, smoother, and comfortable.
Comfort, schmumfort, you don't have to, but...
Do you have the new improved Gillette Track 2?
Improved Track 2? Improved Track 2?
The new improved Gillette Track 2. Micro-smooth edges make it a better shave.
When a $40 million aircraft comes in for a service check, you take charge. In 10 short hours, it's all systems go. Now comes Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, you got the time. Then we've got the beer. Miller beer.
In last year's championship series, the Philadelphia Phillies reverted to their past where something always goes wrong in October. This time, slick fielding Gary Maddox dropped the third out in the 10th inning of the clincher, setting up a winning run. Another case of October blues for the Phillies.
I felt really badly for Gary Maddox, especially because this guy's done such a super job for me. The one thing I feel proud of is that Gary admitted the fact that he dropped the ball. It's all over and done, and this guy has been working as hard as anybody in baseball right now trying to improve himself.
So now the Phillies must prove themselves again. They attempt their fourth straight Eastern Division title, their first pennant since 1950, their first world championship ever. And as all Philadelphia knows, the Phillies now have a man who's done all that. He's out to do it again at a new position.
I don't really worry about going to first base because if I can help the Phillies win the World Series or get to the World Series, I'll be happy to do anything because really baseball is a team game. It's an individual effort because you get paid on what you do individually, but really the real rewards what happens at the end as far as the team's concerned.
As far as this team is concerned, Pete Rose should help provide the answer. Have bat, will hustle. Another hustler, Larry Boa, bats behind Rose. Last year, Boa led the Phils through a rugged late-season battle with the Pittsburgh Pirates, who came dangerously close to snatching away the title. Philadelphia will need the kind of fire that Rose and Boa provide because the pennant track could be rougher than ever. Last year, from mid-August on, Pittsburgh's act was simply smashing, with MVP Dave Parker in the starring role. Parker and the Pirates came on like a mad tornado, and this spring they're sending out early storm warnings.
The Phillies think they're gonna win it in the East? They gotta be out of their mind. 2 or 3 more Pete Rose ain't gonna help them. A trio? What's that? New Dan.
For talent and modesty, Dave Parker's the Muhammad Ali of baseball.
I'm the best player in baseball, bar none. I'm definitely pushing for more. I think that if I can remain healthy for a full season, I have an excellent chance of winning the Triple Crown.
Willie Stargell never won a Triple Crown, but he's won 2 home run crowns, 5 division crowns, and last year was comeback of the year, his best season since '73.
When the time comes when I lose that enthusiasm, when I no longer get goosebumps as a result of each game, and I'll call timeout if I'm coming to hit with the bases loaded, I'll call timeout, wave my hat, and that's the last you see of Willie Stargell on the baseball field.
When the Pirates last saw a healthy Rennie Stennett, he was hitting near .340 2 years ago. He looks improved, as does the whole infield with additions like super sub Lee Lacy and young Dale Berra.
I definitely feel we're in better shape than we were last year with the addition of Romo, the addition of Lacy, a healthy Rennie Stennett, and John Candelaria coming back healthy. I feel that our ball club has to be improved almost 20 to 30%.
If the St. Louis Cardinals play to their capacity, they might improve 100%. After Bob Force spun an early season no-hitter last year, the excitement died in St. Louis. This spring, Lou Brock and company worked hard on fundamentals after suffering their worst year since 1924. This is a team that should steal a run when needed, yet was 16 and 32 in one-run games, but that was last year. The Cardinals opened '79 with 2 victories over the Phillies. Ken Reitz had 3 hits in the opener, knocked in the winning run the next day in the bottom of the 9th. The Redbirds have the pitchers. If the offense rewards them with key runs like this, the spirit of St. Louis might fly again in '79. Last year, the Chicago Cubs were able to climb as high as the sensitive arm of relief ace Bruce Sutter could stretch. In the stretch, the arm tired. So did the Cubs. But the fans of Wrigley Field are ever faithful. Bill Buckner hit .323 last year virtually on crutches. Now his legs are healthy, coming off a great spring training. The Cubs themselves had a fine spring, but as the Wrigley folk know, springtime is always their season. The problem is one of summer endurance and power. Dave Kingman is big enough to endure and big enough to power homers like this. Going, it is gone. If Kingman has a big year and other Cubs like shortstop Ivan DeJesus continue to have fast starts, the Cubs might have the momentum to keep them running into fall. If not, these folks have learned to grin and bear it. Joe Torre's New York Mets opened the season looking like murderer's row, especially at the top of the lineup. Lee Mazzilli sizzled this spring, and the chilly Chicago air didn't cool him off in the Mets' 10-6 and 9-4 victories over the Cubs. Those may not sound like Mets scores, but with Richie Hebner, they may become typical. Hebner made his Met debut with 4 hits and 4 RBI. Another newcomer, rookie Kelvin Chapman, looks like he can handle the bat and second base. He and shortstop Doug Flynn give the Mets a promising double-play combo and perhaps new fans.
As far as I'm concerned, the only thing that's going to bring people back to Shea Stadium on a long-term basis is going to be the way we play, and I know we're going to be more consistent this year.
Consistency was not a strong point for the Montreal Expos, who lost 36 one-run games last season. But budding stars like Ellis Valentine, Warren Cromartie, Andre Dawson, Larry Parrish, and Gary Carter think their day has come.
There's about 4 or 5 ball players that have come up through the minor leagues now, and we've played together for some time. This is going to be the 3rd year together with the Cromarties, the Dawsons, the Valentines, the Parrish, and myself. And when you get to that point, you start yourself to build sort of a dynasty, and you know just about what you can expect out of each and every one of the players.
The Expos expect still better pitching with the additions of starter Bill Lee from Boston and relief ace Elias Sosa from Oakland. They got 20 victories from Ross Grimsley last year, and ace fireballer Steve Rogers says he's now healthy and ready to chase a pennant.
I feel that the Montreal Expos have as much talent to put on the field as any team in the division.
I feel that Phillies would be knocking on our door instead of us knocking on theirs.
Now for this week's Volkswagen quiz. At Houston's Astrodome, Ken Forsch realized a pitcher's dream when he threw a no-hitter against the Atlanta Braves. He did it April 7th, the earliest date ever for a no-hitter. It was Houston's second game of the year, but one pitcher in baseball history threw a no-hitter on opening day. Can you name him? Stay tuned, for Volkswagen will ask you again.
That Volkswagen Rabbit really handles. Is that why you're driving it?
Not really.
Well, is it because it can go from 0 to 50 in 8.3 seconds? But then why are you driving a Rabbit?
Because it has more headroom than my Rolls Royce.
Is that such a big deal?
It is. If you're Will Chamberlain.
Volkswagen does it again.
For the last 3 years, Kansas City Royals fans have been watching the best in the American League West. And last year, for the first time, the Royals topped the 2 million mark in home attendance. This spring, KC shoots for its 4th straight Western Divisional crown, facing even tougher competition. If the Royals have an edge, it could be pitching this time. The staff is deeper and healthier than ever before.
We know we have 3 good starting pitchers in Leonard, Splittorff, and Gura. Rich Gale came up last year, won 14 ball games for us, and had some shoulder problems after July. He's been throwing very well this spring. He will pitch this coming Tuesday. I think Rich is over his shoulder problems, and he'll do a good job for us. Steve Busby has been coming along real well, throwing just fine, and I'm really enthused about him. It's 2 years now since his surgery, and I really, at this time, look for him to come back and go in my starting rotation.
But the best in the West still has to prove it's the best in the American League. George Brett did his best in the championship series, but this year it'll be tougher just getting there.
It's going to be a dogfight, and Eastern Division is also going to be a dogfight. I don't think the Yankees are a shoo-in, and I don't think Kansas City's a shoo-in, but to be very honest about it, I'd like another crack at them in the playoffs.
The Texas Rangers would like their first crack at a pennant, and 2 new ace relievers might give them one. Former Indian Jim Kern teams up with ex-Yankee Sparky Lyle, who's just raring to go.
Well, I'm happy about it. I think we're going to work good together. I don't think it'll be the same situation over here as it was with the Yankees. I think we're going to be pretty successful over here because already we started to work together, and I think it's going to work out all right.
By trading Toby Harrah for Buddy Bell, the Rangers have turned over the whole team that moved from Washington in '72. Slugger Oscar Gamble also joins this home for the wayward. could be a winning hand for fast-dealing Brad Corbett.
Texas likes winners, and I think the thing that we really are looking to do is put a championship ball club on that field. And once we establish that identity, I think that baseball really will go a long way in Texas.
If Minnesota Twins manager Gene Mauch lets off steam this summer, it's understandable, especially after losing hitters like Rod Carew, Lyman Bostock, and Larry Heisel. Now former Angel Ron Jackson must lead an offense that will not intimidate many pitchers. But Minnesota may surprise because in place of the heavy hitters, it now has strong pitchers. Dave Goltz won 15 games last year and beat the A's on opening day this year as Twins pitching swept Oakland 3 straight. And the Twins didn't lose free agent relief ace Mike Marshall, who saved Goltz's victory with crazy screwballs like this. Minnesota's Marshall plan may be the key to rebuilding. The Oakland A's, once proud bearers of 3 world titles, also have a Marshall plan. New manager Jim Marshall. And the A's have young talent worth watching. Matt Keogh is one of several Oakland pitchers with a bright future. And the future is without limit for Mitchell Page, who can run, hit, and hit with power. It remains to be seen, however, if other hitters can get in tune with Page's bat to again form the swinging A's. Last year, Chicago fans elected veteran shortstop Don Kessinger Secretary of Defense. And this season, the White Sox elected him president, or manager anyway. A playing manager? Well, maybe not full-time if rookie Harry Chappas succeeds at short. Like the Mongoose, he's quick and accurate. 92 chances last September without an error. Defense is what the secretary, manager that is looking for. Now, if the White Sox give him some, Chicago might even make him mayor. The American League opened the season in Seattle's Kingdome, where Willie Horton, the Mariners' new DH, was less than social to Frank Tanana, California Angel ace, as he ripped 3 hits, including this homer. Horton wants to prove he still belongs in the majors, while Leon Roberts wants to prove that 22 homers and 92 RBIs were no accident last year. That shot knocked out Tanana and buried the Angels as Seattle took the opener 5-4. But that's not all, folks, not by a long shot. The next game, the Mariners dug in and kept pounding, this time against ace flamethrower Nolan Ryan. 17 hits, 14 runs, a 14-6 wipeout. Well, that's baseball. 2 aces up, 2 aces down. Which one the contender? Which one the clown? Of course, with Rod Carew, the California Angels should be strong contenders.
With the consistent hitting that Rod's going to give our lineup, I think that it might rub off on some of the other players throughout the lineup and give us confidence, and maybe it'll be like a contagious thing. He hits about 330 or whatever, and it looks easier, and maybe just psychologically it might help all of us with a little bit more of a positive attitude when we go up to the plate.
When Carew goes up to the plate, California wheels really turn. But whether he can turn the Angels into a pennant winner is a subject he handles with characteristic modesty.
Well, I don't know if I can make the difference by myself. I think it doesn't really take one man to win. It takes 25 guys. And, you know, with guys like Rudy and Baylor and Tanana and Ryan and Ford and Carney Langsford and with Rick Miller, I don't see why we can't give everybody else a run for the pennant this year.
And with 3 hits by Dan Ford, another former Twin, the Angels began their run by beating the Mariners in the getaway game. 5 games separated California from the Royals last season, a distance the Angels don't consider very far.
I think our pitching's good, and we're going to score a lot more runs than we did last year. And I think the addition of Danny Ford, Rod Carew, and Jim Barr from San Francisco, I think we can pick up those 5 games that we finished behind them.
Now, the answer to the Volkswagen quiz, brought to you by the '79 Rabbit, Dasher, and Scirocco. Volkswagen does it again. The only pitcher to throw a no-hitter on opening day was Bob Feller of the Cleveland Indians, and it was against the White Sox on April 16, 1940, the first of 3 career no-hitters.
Sold out again.
The new improved Gillette Track 2, please.
Yeah, say, who needs improved when these twin blades will do?
Track 2 has micro smooth edges. Makes the blade smoother than ever.
Shave better than these?
Better, safer, smoother, and comfortable.
Comfort, schmumfort, you don't have the, but...
Do you have the new improved Gillette Track 2?
Improved Track 2. Improved Track 2.
The new improved Gillette Track 2. Micro smooth edges make it a better shave.
The Porsche 924. Except for the roll bar, harness, and fire extinguisher, it's a showroom model. What do racing drivers like about this Porsche?
It's like the car was running on rails.
It's the way that this car comes out of the turns. It's just fantastic.
The cornering, the balance. I've driven Datsun Zs, but I prefer this 924.
Racers helped design this car. Believe me, racers can tell. What will you like about the Porsche 924? You'll never know till you try one, will you?
April 4th, 1979. Baseball's traditional opening day at Cincinnati's Riverfront Stadium. Like any opening day, excitement for a new season filled the air. But there was a difference this time. Paul Pryor, a 17-year veteran, was the only familiar umpire on the field. The others were on strike, a problem for baseball and for all umpires. And all fans hoped the issues would soon be settled. Cincinnati's Tom Seaver had more immediate problems. The San Francisco Giants, who sent up 11 batters in the second inning, racked up 8 runs. Actually, the Giants didn't get them all on their own. The Reds pitched in with 5 errors, and the game eventually won by San Francisco 11-5. With Vida Blue opposing Seaver, it had figured to be a pitcher's duel. It was a significant battle of National League Western Division contenders, and the Giants got the early jump by taking 3 out of 4 games. A battle of American League Eastern Division contenders also jumped into action on opening day at Yankee Stadium. It was the day when yours truly was mighty proud to be on hand with my old friend and broadcasting colleague, Red Barber, to raise the New York Yankees' 22nd World Championship flag before over 52,000 cheering fans. They also cheered Yankee ace Ron Guidry, making his first appearance since his spectacular 25-3 season a year ago. With Guidry pitching 5 1/3 innings of perfect baseball against the Milwaukee Brewers, Yankee fans felt they were watching the same invincible pitcher and let him know it. But no one's perfect in baseball, especially against a hard-hitting team like Milwaukee, which went to work in the 6th with a 4-run rally. Don Money delivered the hit that broke the ice. That was enough for Guidry's opponent, Mike Caldwell, who happened to be runner-up to the Yankee ace in the Cy Young balloting last season. He also beat New York 3 times without a loss last year, and beat them here 5-1. Milwaukee went on to take 2 out of 3 from the world champs to remind people that there really are several teams with a good shot at stealing that flag from the Yankees. In Los Angeles, the Dodgers opened the season defending their National League flag, which they've earned the last 2 years. Consistency has been a key, and last year's World Series infield of first baseman Steve Garvey, third baseman Ron Say, shortstop Bill Russell, and second baseman Davey Lopes begin their 7th year together. Only the historic Cubs infield of Tinker to Evers to Chance endured longer. Baltimore manager Earl Weaver has not only endured, he's averaged 95 victories a year in 10.5 seasons with the Orioles. Against the White Sox on opening day, Weaver sent out his ace Jim Palmer, who rewarded him with a 5-3 victory. Win number 1,000 for Weaver, number 216 for Palmer. On opening day at Boston's Fenway Park, uniforms were the topic of conversation. The Red Sox reverted to the old blue color scheme worn in the 60s, while Jim Rice reverted to last year's form with a 3-run homer to help beat Cleveland. The two teams exchanged fields the next game as Rick Waits took the mound in the Indians' home opener. Waits also reversed the results, allowing Boston only 1 hit in a 3-0 victory. Last year, Waits opened the season with a 2-hit shutout. At this rate, next year should produce an absolute 0. And that's exactly what Ken Forsch was working on in the 9th inning against the Atlanta Braves. Houston fans only had to wait till the 2nd game of the season for this drama. The 32-year-old veteran hadn't allowed anything resembling a hit as he quietly waited to face Glenn Hubbard. Now, doesn't that look easy? Of course, no-hitters are treasured items, and thus Ken Forsch receives this week's Gillette Special. 1 year ago, his brother Bob of the Cardinals also received the Gillette Special for a no-hitter. So congratulations to Mrs. Forsch, the only woman ever who's had 2 sons throw Major League no-hitters. How about that? That's it for this week, fans. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.
This is Rod Carew for This Week in Baseball. Join us next week for more baseball action and get out there to the ballpark whenever you can. I'll be looking for you.